Good morning. You've reached Tina Mitchell, or I am Tina Mitchell, your local mortgage expert, as well as your host with Coffee with a Superstar. My show is with real estate agents for real estate agents. I interview the best of the best in the industry so you can see and hear what they're doing and how they're doing it. And each week I travel to my superstar's office so that you can be invited behind the scenes of their business. I've created this space to showcase their success, but also to share their success with you so that our superstars can be an inspiration for you to take your business to your next level. And my superstar this morning is the Patti Hill. Patti, thank you so much for joining the show this morning.
Absolutely.
And I want to share a little bit about Patti. Patti started her career in real estate in 2000 at John L. Scott Lower Horse. She is now the office leader of John L. Scott Northeast office, and a beautiful office space this is. She works with her son Brian, who has her two favorite granddaughters, and her daughter Stephanie, same as my daughter's name, Stephanie, lives in New Jersey with her two favorite grandsons. Now, Patti is past president of Seattle King County Realtors, served on the board of directors at Washington Realtors, and also served on Corporate Investor Council of NAR. Now, Patti is the perfect example of how you can run a successful business as well as give back to your fellow real estate agents by serving your time in areas that really, in these organizations that fight for the rights of agents and for their consumers. So, Patti, thank you so much for being here today. Very excited to have a chat over coffee with you.
I know, thank you.
And I always like to start out with a great question. And what do you contribute your success to?
Well, that's a really good question. I think I had great examples of volunteerism from both of my parents. My father and mother were both into a lot of different things in Port Angeles, where I was raised. My mom was president of Straw Optimists and on the altar guild at church, and my dad actually served on the city council in Port Angeles in the early 60s, which at that time was a volunteer position. They didn't get paid to do the things that they did. So I had a great example growing up, and that takes care of my volunteerism for the Realtor Association, which is so important to me. Also, my parents were both really hard workers, and so they were a great example in that way. I had a wonderful upbringing. I'm really happy that I was lucky enough to have that.
And your son lucky to follow you as well.
Well, yes, it's really fun to work with him. He owned a restaurant for several years, and then I think his wife one day said, "I'd like to see you at home a little bit."
Yes.
And so he came into the business with me. A long time ago, he acted as my assistant when I was first kind of getting going in the business. And so he knew the business, so he got his license, and we haven't stopped.
Yeah,
It's
that
been
is
great.
so awesome.
Yeah.
And so if you're listening today, as you heard Patti say who her inspiration was and who her example was to make her the person that she is today, and whether you come from a family that are hard workers or they're an inspiration or not, if you don't have it at your family, I think a key takeaway from what Patti is sharing today is find who those people are. Who can you inspire to be better? And that's really, again, the why behind this show, is so that Patti can be an inspiration to those of you that are listening today, especially real estate agents, to be able to take your business to the next level. So it's critically important to always be modeling after people that are doing a higher level than you are. Correct, Patti?
Yes. So when I started in the business, one of the things that I did was I asked all of the successful agents in our office out to lunch, and I just picked their brains to see what it was that they had done that made them successful. And it really helped.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking them to give me business. I just wanted to know what they had done. What books were they reading?
Yes.
What were they getting coaching? What kind of what kind of friends did they have?
Yes.
And I kind of worked my way up the ladder in having meals with people that were more and more successful, and I that was amazing. That was really amazing.
And we've all heard before modeling after people and the people that we hang out with. I think the 5 people we hang out with is the people that we are. Mm-hmm. So really reaching out to those people. And I always say that, also none of us come up with our own brilliant idea. We are all inspired and motivated by others. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of that ripple effect. And
yes,
so, like Patti shared this morning, is find those people who are the best of the best in your office that you're associating with, mm-hmm. take them out for lunch, mm-hmm. and love that. Mm-hmm. So Patti, what about a challenge that you have faced in the last 12 months? And what was the challenge and how did you overcome that challenge?
Well, so 2 years ago, Lennox Scott called me and said, I have an office. I think you'd be a good office leader. Have you ever thought about doing that? And I said, yes, I actually have thought about doing it, but nobody's ever offered, and I kind of haven't put it out there. And he said, well, let's talk about that. So here I am. Mm-hmm. And it's been challenging.
Yes.
Because I'm not, I didn't come with the book that said this is how you become an office leader.
Yeah.
And so I've had some challenges with agents who I've said, look, you have to do this work in order to make yourself successful.
Yeah.
They don't want to do the work. And so the challenge is then what do? Do we give you another couple of months, or do we say maybe you need to go find another job?
Yeah.
A job instead of being a realtor and having the fun life that we all can have and still work hard.
Yeah.
So that's probably my most challenging thing has been that. My business now is I still sell and
yes.
list homes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and working with Brian, that makes it really easy because he can
take over that part of the business.
He can take most of it, and so our business is mostly referral business.
Yes.
So that makes it easy. We don't have to market too much. So
mm-hmm.
those challenges are, and when you work a referral business, as you know, when you have great clients, they refer you to more great clients.
Yes.
So it makes those challenges kind of go away.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with strangers who want you to do stuff that you can't do.
Exactly. And it's totally different when you have a warm introduction. I know that
Mm-hmm.
you may be listening and you work internet leads, and I know some
Mm-hmm.
agents can really excel at a very high level at internet leads, but it's a very small percentage that do. Majority of them,
it's hard.
It's a waste of time
Mm-hmm.
because you have to work so much harder to build that relationship. Whereas if you have the introductions and those warm leads,
Mm-hmm.
then those people come to you because they were introduced to you and they automatically want to work with you.
Yes.
So, which is really great. I want to go back to the challenge because you may not be managing an office, but you're going to learn from this challenge, and I'll share here with you what I'm going to connect for you in just a second. But how did you overcome, or how are you in the process of overcoming this challenge that you shared with renting an office and having agents that are maybe not succeeding?
Again, I have reached out to people that are running successful offices, and I'm taking them out to lunch or happy hour or whatever and picking their brains. And so for instance, we give awards every year. John L. Scott gives awards for our top producers, and it's a wonderful thing. And when people work hard, I think they should be rewarded. They should be recognized. Mm-hmm. However, the first year we got these lovely little certificates, and I just walked around the office and gave them to people and said thank you. And then as I'm trying to learn how to do this, I talked to a couple people, and they said, oh yeah, we have a whole thing. We take people out to lunch or breakfast and have the awards put in frames and and I went, oh my gosh. So this year we had a really wonderful awards ceremony for the top producers here, but I felt horrible because I didn't feel like I'd really recognized the people that I needed to recognize. And so that's been challenging because I kind of don't know what I should be doing.
Yes, but you're learning in the process.
I am learning.
And again, you're reaching out to other leaders that have been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely. And then the people that aren't doing the work that they need to do to be a successful agent, I'm kind of letting them go.
Yeah. Well, and so how I want to Oh, go ahead, Patty.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, so what I wanted to connect with this because challenges can be very unique to our specific position and where we're at. Patty is an example here today, but they're really not unique. They're actually the same challenges that come in other parts of our life. And where I'd like to really connect this with Patty is if you're running a team or you're working with other people that need to do things in order for you to accomplish your job, I like to base everything based on milestones. That's how I do it behind the scenes of our business. And so everything has milestones. We base it on green, yellow, red light. And if the light is green, it means it's due tomorrow or in the future. If it's yellow, it's due today. And if it was red, it's due yesterday. So basically the team always is a day ahead because nobody wants to have those red or yellow lights.
Right.
Now the tie-in with this, I think if you're running a team or you're running a group of real estate agents, is to not only recognize the best of the best, but also recognize the ones that are almost at that next step. So you have your green, which are the best of the best, the yellow, which are working to get to that next level, and they can see that they're so close, which is going to motivate them. And then you've got the red, and those need to be recognized for what they are as well. Because I think when you can see the things that are not getting done or that you're not producing at the level, you naturally will get yourself out of the business, or it will inspire you to hopefully be able to take that next step.
Right.
So I
Very
love
good.
that.
No, that's great. I'm going to use
Thanks,
that.
Patty. Thank you. And then also, I think with Patty, the challenge with that too is just doing something different, and how exciting it is that when you have an opportunity to do something really big and to take your business and your life to that next level. It is really, really scary, and it feels like it's a big challenge and a big hurdle because it's such a big change, but you have that adrenaline of excitement at the same time. And so I really love that you embrace this, and you're rocking it, and you're going to continue to get better as time goes on.
Yes, for sure. And I also have the support of Lennox and his executive staff in that I can still do my realtor stuff.
Love it.
So I'm on a committee this year that we're working with corporate investors into the realtor pack.
Okay.
And so going after everybody that so that we can kind of compete with the Koch brothers a little bit.
Okay.
It's been really rewarding, but Lennox gives me that leeway to be able to do that outside of still being an office leader.
Got it.
And they expect me to be successful here in this office too. So it's a challenge. It is. It's
fun,
really
fun challenge.
Yeah, really fun. I love it.
Your journey.
I do love it.
So awesome. So on real estate, a marketing tip. If you were to think of your favorite marketing tip for creating more business that you'd like to share with our agents that are listening today, what would that be?
A marketing tip.
Yes. Your favorite.
Well, so my favorite thing is to write personal notes.
Okay.
And that's really not marketing, but it really is.
Yes.
So, like, if you see somebody on the weekend and you had a great conversation, or they gave you a cookie that was the best cookie you ever had, or whatever, on Monday you sit down and you say, "It was so great to see you. That cookie was the best cookie I ever had. See you soon." Throw your card in there, and boom, done. It's such a nice thing. And I talk to people about writing personal notes, and they're like, "Oh God, I never know what to say," or "It's a hard thing to do." However, when you receive mail, you probably stand over the recycling bin, and there's stuff that just goes in. And if something's personally handwritten, that goes on top of the pile. Nobody's going to throw that note away. They're going to be so happy. And I've had people call me and say, "Oh my God, you made my day. I was having the worst day, and then I get this note from you." And it's just, and then you're still top of mind. And it's a silly little thing that you do, but it makes all the difference.
I love that marketing tip because it is the small things. And one of my mind shifts in my coaching program, One Time Your Business, which, by the way, there'll be a link at the bottom, 15 clock hours available for real estate agents. Really powerful course. And it's virtual and live, so you can do it anywhere you want. One of the mind shifts is to rejoice in your small successes, because those small steps is what lead you to the big leaping goals that you have. And if you think about what makes you happy, and that's what's so cool about sales, is if we can just bring it back to ourselves and know how we feel, that is exactly how we're going to make someone else feel. And Victoria is always over here on the other side of the camera for a coffee with a superstar, and she knows exactly what I'm going to say right now, because she knows how important my handwritten cards are to me. And I actually have a bulletin board, 3 of them on the side of my wall that's right across from my desk. My clients can't see it unless they turned around and looked at it, but regardless, if they could, doesn't matter. But I like the idea that I can actually look at that wall and I can see how many people I made enough of a difference that particular day that they did a handwritten card to me. And sometimes when I'm not feeling my best, I'm not feeling that I'm making a difference, or I lost a deal, or whatever the situation may be, I literally will go up and read those gosh darn handwritten cards.
I know,
and
funny,
I love it. So yes, the handwritten cards are so important to make people feel special. And I love how you mentioned when something happens, you know, they gave you a cookie that tastes good, or you know that something special is coming up, or something challenging happened for them, that you take the time to write. And it doesn't have to be long.
No,
just something really brief.
So I have on the side of my desk, I have a stack of cards.
Yes.
And I have a goal every day. I want to write 2 cards. I want to write 5 cards. It depends. At the end of the week, I want to have written at least 10 cards.
Okay.
And so those 10 cards sit there and stare at me all week.
Yes.
And so I have to think of people who am I, and my husband has called and said, when are you coming home? And I'm like, I still have 7 cards to write on Friday.
That's awesome.
So so now I'm much better at it now. I mean, I'll write 2 or 3 or 4 a day.
And you've created a habit for it. It's like anything else. Once you create a habit, it just becomes secondary.
I have, yes. And, but the fact that they're sitting there staring at me, it's just something I have to do. And it's so funny. My daughter, not from me did she get this, but she is so good at writing notes. And she's in New Jersey, as you said, and she will call me and say, somebody just called me and they just loved my note. And I said, you should have a business that you could write personal notes for people.
That'd be a good business.
Yeah, it would be a good business for her.
So many people won't do it.
Right, And it's such a silly thing. I mean, one card takes me, I actually timed myself about 2 weeks ago, because somebody came in and I said, start writing notes. Oh, it takes so long. I can write a note and address it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
No.
And we're not talking about send-out cards. Send-out cards is really, really awesome for those regular anniversary things and different stuff like that to send them out, because that's a really great, it's a very great service and very in the spirit of one-timing. But we're talking about actually handwriting a card. And some tips with handwriting, they do say that blue ink versus any other ink has an emotional connection. I just read that.
I didn't know that.
I read that. And also having a PS at the end has a different connection as well. And then just make sure that whenever you want to write I, change it to you.
Right. Yes.
You know, another little tip.
Right. No, that's true. You can start every sentence with I.
Yes. Or you can figure out how to start every sentence with you, right?
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a kind of, I guess, and because of those notes, I know it's why my business is mostly referral.
Yeah. So if you could take one tip away today and inspiration to take action in your business and just write 5 handwritten cards a day, and intentional, because you're listening to what your clients are saying and your referral partners are saying, and it's guaranteed that you're going to get at least another transaction, probably on a quarterly basis, if not more.
Oh, more. Yeah.
So if you could do an extra transaction a month, would it be worth it for you to write 5 handwritten cards a day?
Exactly. And then another good tip to do after you write the note, call them.
Oh yeah,
because they're going to be really happy to receive that note, and then give them a couple days and call them and say, I was just thinking of you.
Yes. Yeah.
And they'll say, oh my God, I
just got your card in the mail.
It was so cool.
Yes. Yeah.
And so then top of mind.
Yes. I believe also in doing personal stationery, not connected when you're doing these personal cards, not connected to your actual company, because it just has a different meaning when it's your own personal stationery. So definitely don't put your business card in it either.
Right. So I love Volkswagen buses, and I just bought one. And then I found these cards. My bus is orange, and I found these cards that have orange Volkswagen buses on them. So,
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
so
that's
awesome.
been my those are
and
my
that
new, my new favorite cards.
Creates into who you are too,
Yeah.
and brings out your personality.
Yeah, so funny.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, Patty, if an agent's listening today and they want to know what would be the most important thing that you would tell them to do, the next step to take their business to the next level, what advice would you give them?
It's all about contacts. When I'm interviewing new agents, I say this is a contact sport.
Yes,
This is not a sit
Offense,
back
not
and wait.
defense.
Right, exactly. And so it's how many contacts do you have? Do you have a database? Those are the things that are going to get you business. And you're going to start, when you start as a new agent, you're going to start with people that you know.
Yes.
And people that know you and love you and trust you. That's going to be your base. But then from there, you're going to expand. So how good are you at making contacts? How good are you at talking to people? How good are you at being able to include people in a conversation? I have a story. I was at the grocery store a couple years ago, and the lady, the checkout lady, was Georgia, was checking out. The guy in front of me knew her, and they were talking, and she said, yeah, my husband just retired, and I think I'm going to retire, and we're going to move down to California to be closer to our kids. Okay, so my turn. I come up and I go, hey, do you own your home? I said, oh, you're going to move to California? Oh, where? And she said, San Diego. I went, oh, San Diego, I'd love to live in San Diego. Easy. And then I said, do you own your home here in Seattle? And she said, yeah, we do. And I said, do you have an agent that you know and love? And she said, no, we've owned the house for 30 years. And I said, I would love to come and just give you an idea of what your house is worth, so that when you do decide to sell it, you'll know. Well, I sold that house.
Wow.
But how easy was that?
Yeah.
So you gotta have good ears. You gotta listen. And as the ninja coaching program, they say listen for pain and pleasure.
Yeah.
And then those two things, people are either gonna make a move or are gonna want your shoulder to cry on.
We'll put a link here. Victoria added to Nikki. Nikki also talks about recognizing buying signals, which I had her in one of my Power Hour Lunch and Learns, and I brought her in studio before, and she just has a little different spin on it, but that's exactly what you were talking about, is you're watching and listening for buying
all the time.
for buying triggers or and then acting on it.
Right, then you can't be afraid.
Yes, people are asking for our service all the time.
Right, all the time.
But you have to be, not afraid to speak.
Right, and that's another thing that will make you successful.
Yes.
Is there was an agent that when I first started that I took out, and she was like, I talked to people in the grocery line, I talked to people at the park, I talked to people, she had a dog, I talked to all the people at the dog park, they all know me, they all, you just can't be afraid to say what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't too, people may not even think that you have time to work with them or you want to work with them, so you have to give that invite to work with you, especially when you're at a level like you and all the things that you're doing, that somebody may go, well, she's got so much, she runs an office, she does so much in giving back to the real estate community. She really doesn't even sell real estate anymore.
No, so my thing is I'm never too busy for you.
Yep.
Easy.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, Patty, what about, as we're wrapping up our time here, we've got about 7 minutes left. Who is an I know it does go fast. This 30 minutes whips right on by.
That's right.
Who is an inspiration to you? A book or someone that you've heard speak, or just somebody here in our local market that inspires you? I know
inspirations. Really, truly. About 3 weeks ago, I was at a convention in Palm Springs, and I heard Condoleezza Rice speak.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a woman. She talked about how one of the things they asked her is she teaches at Stanford University. And one of the questions to her was, what have you learned from your students? And she said, she was like, I don't learn anything from them. All I learn is that they need to learn a lot more.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
No, it was great. Her speech was inspiring.
Yeah.
I just read a book called Blue Fishing. Have you read that? It's by this guy named Stephen Sims.
I have not.
He's from England.
I'm gonna make note of it.
And yeah, it's quite inspiring. And he tells stories, and then you get kind of inspiration from that.
Okay.
And some of the things that he said, I went, oh, I could use that as a question when I'm recruiting people.
Uh-huh.
That's been a good read recently. And then I just got a book. It's called The Seven. I can't remember the name of it. I just have started it. So reading books.
Yes,
I try to read a book a week.
Yeah.
When I can't sleep at night, I turn on my little light and read. So I give myself, I read 2 nonfiction, and then I get to read a junk romance.
Okay, to have that
mystery
balance,
something.
all right.
And then I read 2 nonfictions.
That guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and I love to read. So that's kind of where I'm at.
And if you're a paperback reader, or like me, an Audible, because you're either or. I didn't realize that until I wrote. Well, and I didn't realize it until I wrote my book.
Right, I've read your
You are
book.
either or.
Right. Yes.
You either read in print or you're Audible.
Yeah.
And thank goodness for Audible instead of audio like it used to be, because now you can actually take notes right within the chapters. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to be able to.
For you.
Yes, for all of us.
Well, I
mean,
can't,
whether
yeah,
it's just
to
doing
read.
whatever works well for
Yes,
you.
I can't.
Yes.
So if I put a book on Audible, my mind goes the other direction, and then I go, oh, I didn't listen to any of that. And then I got to rewind and do it again.
Yeah, it's so funny. And for me,
Yeah.
if I'm reading, I'm spending too much time actually focus on reading the words, whereas Audible, I can let my mind go and really focus on listening. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We are who we are, so
Right.
just embrace it and find the way that you learn.
Yes, and a few years ago, my kids gave me a Kindle for a Christmas present, and I was like, oh no, I need to have the book.
Yeah.
I love that Kindle.
Yeah. That
I
is
probably
too
have
funny.
900 books on it now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fun. I love reading.
So pick up and read a book or listen to Audible. Do one a week. Get online and do some research of people that really inspire you.
Yes.
And that's really great with technology, because we can listen to anybody that we want to at any time.
Yes.
Which
True.
is so great.
Yeah.
So Patti, 4 minutes left here. What's important to you right now? I know obviously family and your beautiful grandbabies and your kids. What else are you passionate about that you're really is kind of in that next level in your journey in this beautiful life?
My passion right now is to make agents successful.
Love that. Yeah.
And you can come here and I can help you have a very successul business.
Yeah.
However, you got to do the work.
You've got to help yourself first.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that too. That's great. But yeah, you do. You have to help yourself. But I can give you all the tools. Here at this office, we have amazing tools.
Yeah.
Lennox has spent millions and millions of dollars on incredible tools for people to use. Thing is, you got to use them. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. But as a mom, I have experience with you have to do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
I think as a leader, we've talked about this before right here in this space on a different example, but the 80-20 rules, which are talking about, it's kind of changing to a 90-10. It is what it is.
It is, right.
So, you've got to just weed out, and you can't focus 80% of your time on the 80% that are doing 20% of the production.
Right.
We've really got to take, because the 80-20 rule works for you or against you. It's totally up to you.
Absolutely.
So instead, you really need to focus your time, if you're listening, not on the 80% of your referral partners that are giving 20% of the business, but focus on that 20% of your realtor or your partner. I'm saying realtor because you guys are my partners, but your partners or your clients. Reshift what the norm does. And as Patti is a leader, there's only so much time in the day. You need to put your high level focus on the agents that are doing 80% of the volume, which represent 20%, and those ones that are in that middle category that there's a few of them that are going to pop out, but you don't know who those clients, who those referral partners, who those agents are going to be until you kind of put them through that process.
That's right.
But we can't help the people that don't want to be helped. We can't work with buyers and sellers that are not ready to make a move. Instead, you have to navigate through and find the ones that really need you, that are giving those buying signals now that they want your help now.
Yes.
Because there's only so much time in the day. Patti, thank you so much for
thank you, Tina.
hanging
This
out
is
here with
great.
me.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
the office space
Thank
here
you.
at John L. Scott, and
Me
it's
too.
always a pleasure to see you face to face.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Well, thank
And
you
thanks,
all
Victoria.
of you for, yes, thank you, Victoria. Thank you to all of you that are listening today with Coffee for a Superstar. We're going to be back next Monday, every Monday, same time, different location as we travel around the King County. And actually, we have a couple superstars coming up out of the King County area. So Victoria and I get to take a little bit of a travel. So stay tuned for future weeks. Appreciate all of your support of my mortgage business. Please keep me in mind. That is what I do for a living. I do mortgages. I'm very passionate about it, and have a great team to support where we play a high level of attention and detail to our clients. And also, again, there'll be a link at the bottom of this video for my next One Time Your Business 8-week burn. It's a live virtual online course where I help real estate agents take their time management and business efficiency to the highest level possible. Why? So that you can live the life that you want to live. You may ask, how do I have time to produce at a high level and do stuff like this? It's because I one-time my business, and I would love to share those proven techniques and tools with you. So have a great day. Hope this was an inspiration for you to take your business and take your life to the next level. Tina Mitchell and Patti Hill signing off for today.
Thank you.